Hello all, welcome again to the last parallel session of the day, which will be hosted by Wouter Boerefijn of AVEVA. He will tell us something about balance, risk, costs, and performance in your strategy, AVEVA Asset Strategy Optimization. We approximately have 10 minutes of presentation and, of course, 5 minutes to ask some questions or to discuss some topics that Wouter has addressed in his presentation. So I would like to give the word to Wouter and good luck.
Thank you, Kevin. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me start sharing my screen.
Yeah, you already have the controls.
Yeah, there you go. Put it in presentation mode. And I'm back. Yeah, so this is pretty much in the pitch to highlight the functionalities of asset strategy optimization, which is a software solution by AVEVA, and we're mostly focusing today on the why and what the solution can do. If we look at why we have asset strategy optimization, is it because it enables our customers, mostly operators, but also service providers, to find the optimum between, let's say, what we say, under maintenance and over maintenance. So it's the picture here in the middle where we see the risk-based, basically area where the optimum is, and the goal is to find, first of all, the optimum, but also to retain the optimum. And that's not so easy as it may sound. And it has to do not with one reason, but multiple reasons, as you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen. It's first of all an understanding, a deep understanding of your business, but also your assets. And in terms of what you need to know from your assets, of course, is about their behavior. So what's the function of assets in your business, but also how are they behaving from an let's say a risk assessment and failure mode centric approach. And that is an ever-changing topic. So the business is changing, assets are changing, the way they are being operated is changing. You want to continuously improve, so it's a never-ending, let's say, exercise to keep your asset strategies evergreen. And that's what the solution helps you to do. It is maintenance is mostly seen as a cost center by many operators, but of course, more and more people in the industry see that that maintenance is an opportunity to improve the performance, and that's where the software is helping, and it is systemizing your asset management in a way that everybody is using the same platform, where you have full transparency on what's happening from a strategy perspective. And essentially the criticality of assets is very important to apply a meaningful maintenance and inspection strategy, because the failure modes for critical assets that are critical is really important to understand, because you want to go out in the field for inspections or whatsoever, and you want to have very tangible and very specific what to inspect, what to replace to be effectively. And that's basically what the solution helps you to do. If we go to the next slide, this is basically in essence what the challenge is. It's on the one hand, of course, the desire to decrease the cost. That's the never-ending story of decrease of cost. But also the managing the risk and increasing the performance. And by deploying maintenance technologies, which are preventive, corrective, or more predictive or data-based, you need to know the risk profile of your assets. And that's basically been identified by asset strategy optimization. And if you have identified the strategies, you can set up different strategies, and you can do simulations about what is the best approach for this type of assets, taking in consideration the different industries or whatever kind of influences. And that's the what if simulation calculation engine in the software. That's basically what is done. And meanwhile, doing doing and using the software solution, it's basically driving continuous improvement, but also compliance with all kind of legislation and social requirements. And as sort of an input requirement for these kind of exercises, the application of risk-based maintenance, you're also improving data quality, because you need data to do risk assessments, to set up strategies, and probably even to implement data-driven technologies. So there you need really qualitative data. And meanwhile doing this and implementing risk-based maintenance, you have that improvement as well. And not least also the implementation of a risk-based spare parts strategy. So part of the, let's say, reduction of downtime is the availability of spare parts, not only the right one, but also in the right amount in stock, or any other way how you would mitigate the risk of long delivery times. And everything together can be put in a data model in the asset strategy optimization solution, and that can be simulated for let's say 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ahead to understand what it means for your business. And then that's also one of the drivers to be here today with Ultimo, why it's one of our partners, the EAM system and ASO from AVEVA in particular. We have not only a process but also system integration, where basically the cycle would go from the company objectives with the risk assessment for prioritizing critical assets, and in-depth risk analysis to identify critical failure modes, and then the implementation of the strategies in the EAM system, where the execution for those maintenance strategies will be managed, and let's say the capabilities from an EAM system can be used to drive further optimization, and then you can close the loop again by reviewing your strategies, by keeping it evergreen. And that's the interaction, in particular, between the EAM system and AVEVA's asset strategy optimization, which brings a systematic approach for continuous improvement. And this is also a system and methodology that can be used for compliancy reasons, to demonstrate and to know we're safe, and we can also prove it in a system that we have a very justified system. To address this let's say solution, it is a variety of people in your organization. It's not only for top management for the KPI benefits, but it's top down, basically addressing the interests of risk-based maintenance. You see it for directors or plant managers more on the level of strategic point of view, KPIs, aiming to improve the overall productivity, for instance, of the plant or of the asset, but also the demonstrating compliancy and justification of budgets. That's really important from that standpoint, but also more in a tactical and operational way, not less important, but from a little bit different standpoint, for maintenance managers, for instance, to come up with a clear multi-year maintenance plan and also as associated budget, aiming that optimum to have the right asset care, basically. And reliability engineers can make use of the solution to have in-depth, very specialized calculations about what is exactly the right strategy to find the optimum scenario for my assets. So it's a variety of basically audience in your organization where this solution can be addressed. Customer savings achieved. I think this is by example a few categories where we typically find the optimizations and savings. So it can come from asset availability, but of course also reliability, which goes hand in hand. We have spare part cost reduction. So you have a clear justification of which spare parts do we need to have on stock and which one we don't. By the right asset care, giving the right asset care is basically increasing your asset longevity, which is decreasing capex. So the way you give the right care, you can extend the longevity, and you can a little bit postpone the capex investment. And for instance, the other obvious reasons for, let's say, what we do is effectively necessary. So less equipment open during a turnaround, which is not necessary, for instance. So what we're doing is the right thing, and we're doing the right things as well. So that's the aim of the justification of why are we doing maintenance and inspections. We've been doing this for quite a while. I think about up to 25 years. This solution is really proven and in the market for and in different industries, from oil and gas to food and beverage, infra utilities, but also some service providers, big companies, multi-site, multinational companies, but also the more small individual single-site operators. It's basically industry generic. And based on all those experiences, we build an extensive set of library templates, which can be used to implement the risk-based maintenance strategies in the most effective way.
Sorry to interrupt you, Wouter, but we only have 2 minutes left in our time. So if you can please, nice, perfectly in time.
I thought so. Not easy to do it in the 10 minutes, but nice. This link provides more information, and we're very happy, of course, to provide more detailed whatever kind of information.
Nice. Then we go to the questions. There's a question about the integration between AVEVA and Ultimo EAM. Could you give us some more insight about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Of course, there's an integration process-wise. So the strategize side is the development of the asset strategies, and the execution is the other side of the loop for continuous improvement. And so that's the process integration, but we also have a system integration that is enabling, let's say, an easy to use the two systems. So you can, for instance, import from Ultimo into the asset strategy optimization solution some data, and some data as the result of the risk assessments out of asset strategy optimization in Ultimo. That's one of the examples where we have an integration.
All right. And what does AVEVA do to successfully implement this?
Yes. That's a good question. We as AVEVA, we're focusing on, of course, the delivery of the software. We maintain it and we provide support, technical support to let's say aim an optimized uptime of the software as itself. But we're also providing consulting support for customers who start using the software and implementing the methodologies to get them up and running, or give them a kickstart, which we see as a success factor, because it's not something you would implement in a few days or overnight. It's really something that needs an end-to-end implementation. So we provide a standardized end-to-end implementation approach where the software is being used by some of our consultants, expertise consultants, with the customer in the end to get the knowledge transferred. And that's something we see as a success factor.
All right, nice. I think that's a nice conclusion to this session. So please, if you have any questions or something, please reach out to Wouter. And we would like to thank you for your presentation.